Serious Watson advice that everyone should know if they're battling with poor self-esteem. Physical exercise is useful, not because it makes you look good, but because your heart rate will rise. So your blood circulation will rise, delivering oxygen and nutrients, and nice endorphins, to your brain. If you live a sedentary lifestyle, then going for a walk can be a great pick-me-up for the brain. Regular low-level exercise like taking walks can build good foundations for good general mental health. Anxiety and depression are exhausting. Starve those bastards of the energy they need. That self-love isn't a linear process. You're going to have days where you feel good about yourself. Days where you feel meh, and days where you can't even look at yourself in the mirror, but this doesn't erase your progress. Be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself bad days, and know that the feelings of low self-esteem are temporary and part of the process. Having bad days doesn't make you a failure. It doesn't mean that all your efforts are for nothing. It just means it's a bad day. You cannot hate yourself into a version that you love. Edit. Thanks for all the love, guys. My DMs are always open. You're not alone, and I'm here to listen or celebrate with you. You cannot hate yourself into a version you love. Can I quote you literally everywhere I go? You should pick up the book Body Positive Power by Body Posey Panda. It literally saved my life. The biggest tip I ever got was to remember that anxiety is a liar with regards to my self-esteem. When that inner critic starts, I tell it off for lying to me. I named mine after the biggest jerk I knew in school. So when it starts up, I can say, shut up, Chase. No one wants to listen to you anyway. I did something similar. I named my alter ego Kate and assigned all my self-criticism to her. I just tell Kate, shut up and get the duck away from me. Now, it's funny how it helps. By being angry at that unhelpful part of me, I also imagine my other nice alter egos nodding in agreement that Kate needs to shut up. I struggle with anxiety and depression. Anxiety tells me that everyone hates me, and depression tells me that they should. My therapist has told me several things that have helped. 1. Fake it till you make it really does help. It feels like bullshit at first, but the longer you do it, the more normal it becomes, and at some point, it becomes habit. Pretend to like yourself, and you might actually find out that you do. 1. It's okay to have a down day where you just can't function. Don't feel guilty about it. Just don't let me a down week. But if you spend all day curled up in bed one day next week, it's not the end of the world. It's recharging. Don't feel guilty. 1. You don't have to enjoy it, but you do have to do it. Some things, like working, dishes, washing clothes, showering at least once a week, have to be done. I've always struggled with routine things. I don't want to do it. I don't feel like doing, so it is so hard to complete it. My therapist told me this phrase just the other day, and it blew my mind. I don't have to enjoy it, get mad about doing it, even want to do it, but I do have to do it. Reframing things in your mind is really helpful. 1. And finally, I was told, who cares? Now, that sounds awful, but truthfully, even people you see every day won't remember what you wore or say. The only people who do care are those who like/love you, and they understand if your self-esteem/anxiety/depression gets in the way once in a while. If they don't understand, then they don't matter. Personally, I found keeping a journal helps me too. Write down the things that bothered you that day, then find an equal or greater number of things that you enjoyed or made you smile that day. Eventually you train your brain to help see the good things over the bad. Should maybe shower more than once a week when you have depression and are stuck at home always thanks to quarantine. Something as simple as getting up to take a shower can feel like scaling Mount Everest. That fake it till you make it feels like bullshit at first, but actually helps you rewire how you think about yourself in the long run. Also, talking to yourself as you would if you could talk to your younger self can really help some days. I know that for me, taking care of myself can be hard, but thinking about it as if it was someone other than myself makes it easier to put in the effort. Also, if people turn to look at you and that makes you anxious about what you're doing or wearing, it helps to remind yourself that humans just have the habit of looking at whatever moves around them. So if you walk into a CL Butter shop or whatever, and people turn to look at you, that's almost definitely an instinctual thing. And they are most likely not even thinking about you. I don't know if this is a common problem, but this particular anxiety was one I really struggled with during school. Close bracket. 2 things that I actually learned from my self-assured best friend when I finally admitted my self-esteem issues. 1. Anybody looking at you and judging you closely enough to care about whatever it is I'm insecure about physically or even behaviorally has a serious problem that's way beyond anything you're worried about. 2. Would you ever talk to me, my best friend, like that? Even if I had/did whatever I'm self-conscious about, then why on earth do you think it'd be okay with my best friend talking to herself that way? Be your own best friend too. Be your own best friend to just made me stop and look out of a window. That hit different. The vast majority of institutions and traditions in this world that claim to give you worth are valuing you, not by who you are, or by what you can do, but by how much they can exploit you for the benefit of others. Do not listen to these people. The universe is devoid of any worth that we ourselves do not ascribe to it. Just by being a person with eyes to see and a mind to wonder gives each and every life meaning. Recognize that in yourself and those who are valuing you, not by who you are, but by what you can do for them. Lose the power to convince yourself that they are right. The funny thing is that Pixar's newest movie Soul actually has a message similar to this. Basically it said that humans aren't born with any purpose or destiny. Whether you leave behind a legacy or not doesn't matter. What does matter is that you lived. That's your purpose. Just to live life. And that is really true. You can do so much just by living, and your life will impact anyone you meet to some extent. Whether you leave behind a legacy or not, your life is never meaningless. Never underestimate the power of animated movies. They've got the power to change lives. Dang it. As someone who struggles with poor self-esteem myself, I want to tell every other person with the same problem. You've done well. I wish I could be more like you. Anyone who says otherwise doesn't know what they're talking about. Because, honestly, it's hard. It's not easy. It never was. This is why you deserve all the appreciation in the world for being able to go on with your life even when, deep down inside, you feel like you're a waste of space. When you wake up in the morning feeling like absolute trash. But you still keep going. Hats off. Truly. I'm just a stranger on the internet. And even I think that you're a great person. I don't even know you. But I love you anyway. Keep smiling. Always. You deserve to be happy. Apostrophe. Do your best to take some time for yourself to improve the way you look and the way you feel. This one important thing that I feel really helped me was hearing someone say, if you dress good, you feel good. Apostrophe. I've never cared about clothes. But now I see it. I need to dress better for my overall mood. I hope this week I'll start to care more about wearing. People are going to look and judge anyway, so duck it. People won't even notice you, so duck it. Everyone's a star of their own show. They're all too busy to sit and watch yours. You're a strong hot slice of cake and no one can tell you otherwise. People can tell you otherwise, but those people are wrong. Stop making jokes about hating/wanting to kill yourself. Start making jokes about loving yourself instead. Swinging hard in the other direction tends to be funnier anyway, at least to me, because you can still be winky and ironic without maybe making people uncomfortable. I realize that I should try to rely on self-deprecating humor less, because I almost never know how to respond when other people do it. Even on the days that you don't feel the best about yourself, you are still worthy and you are still loved. Not sure how you could say that without knowing me. You don't need to know a person to tell them that there's people out there that care about them and love them. There's a saying in Puerto Rico that goes para los gustos los colores, and everyone has their own preference, so basically there will always be someone who will find you attractive. Never underestimate yourself. That you need to look at things with a positive mindset. It is hard to do even for me, but it works. For example, let's say you went for a run early in the morning, but you stopped a lot during the run. Then look at the fact you woke up early for it. If you have massive project and scared you can't do it, then break each part down into smaller tasks and use that as objectives and see it as instead of not finishing the project in the day, see it as you have done many tasks for the project in a day. Choose something you think will be hard to do, then do it. Stick with it until you succeed. Overcoming challenges is what builds real confidence and self-esteem. Facts, bro. It's okay to not be who you want to be yet. It's not something that will happen overnight. In the meantime, it's okay to rest and take care of yourself. You deserve it. A quote I wished I learned many years ago is, "It's none of your business what other people think about you." And I believe that to be true. Who cares what other people's opinions of you are? Unless you are hurting someone or being a jerk on purpose, then let them think what they want. No one actually cares what you look like. That voice in your head that says horrible things, make fun of it. It helps. Talk to someone. "I don't like these posts." Fake it until you make it. That invalidates your feelings and doesn't build self-esteem. I prefer the posts that say, "Work out. Set a goal." This will help with low self-esteem. Fake it till you make it will eventually fail. It's exhausting and requires keeping a facade that will crumble at some point. I faked it for years, and it worked for years. Until it didn't, and now I regret it completely. How you see yourself doesn't always match how people see you. If you live for the opinions of others, you forget to live up to the expectations of self. There are worse things than not being liked by everyone or yourself, but there is few things worse than not knowing the difference. No one is paying as much attention to you as you think they are. Everyone is too busy thinking or worrying about themselves. If you think everyone is watching and judging you, you just end up crippling yourself. When was the last time you noticed something negative about anyone? And if you did, like something in their teeth, you didn't think negatively about them. You probably empathized with them and felt a little sorry for them, and then you immediately forgot. And you know the people who start dancing first at dances? People who don't think it's embarrassing to start. But when someone else does, you think, "Gosh, I wish I was that brave." Never how embarrassing. People are thinking about themselves. Live your life, because nobody is watching you. Disable your Facebook account for a while. I did so this week and it's liberating. If you cringe at things you have done or said in the past, that means you've grown as a person. Growing and maturing is a good thing, and changing your opinion based on new information is a sign of a healthy mental state. Compare yourself with your past self, not with other people. This doesn't work. If you were doing much better in the past, it just makes you have less self-esteem. You're right. It only works if you are in the process of improving/overcoming something. I should clarify. Read this somewhere else. You are not the voice in your head. You are the one hearing it. Apostrophe. I usually think that if my friend was in my situation, struggling with the same thoughts etc., what would I tell them? Because I sure as hell wouldn't be so harsh on them. It helped me to understand why I had poor self-esteem. I wanted to be liked. I kept looking for approval from others, and I'd get a temporary high from people laughing at my jokes, complimenting my outfit, or liking my posts on social media. I had to make the shift inwardly. I started doing what I wanted to do instead of what I thought others wanted me to do. I picked up new hobbies, got in shape, meditated and worked on becoming aware of my negative self-talk. I fell in love with myself. It didn't hurt that people then started noticing all of the positive changes. People are judging you less than you think. Most people are concerned about themselves and how they appear, so they are more like us than we realize. And write down often what you've accomplished and what you're proud of. Reflect on those wins. Did you get out of bed? Did you have less negative thoughts? Did you smile when you're proud of those small wins? The hope is that you'll see how many more wins you have, but didn't realize it. Most of the time for me, it wasn't what others thought. It was me realizing, or at least thinking, that I wasn't who I wanted to be, and therefore not ready to present myself to others. Get off social media completely, and work on yourself. Exercise and read books. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.